Hello and welcome to NEWSPLUS on Viewer Television. My name is Philip Sullivan. The Bauchi Emirate Council has stripped former Minister of Special Duties Bello Kirfi of his traditional title of Wazir in Bauchi and removed him from being a council member for the second time in 5 years. The new development was said to be connected to the ex-minister's alleged disloyalty and disrespect to the state governor, Bala Muhammad. Kirfi, a retired federal civil servant, was a minister in the government of Alhaji Shehu Shagari in the 1980s and also the pro-chancellor, University of Ilorin from 1997 to 1999. He also became Minister of Special Duties during the administration of President Olusegun Obasanjo in the 2000s. Several houses and shops were destroyed in a fresh round of communal violence between the Waja and the Lunguda communities in Lafia Lamurde local government area of Adamawa State. Now, a resident who was caught in the violence said during the disturbance, he first saw people scampering in different directions, and in the wake of the confusion, he saw shops and houses being set ablaze by miscreants. Although no lives were said to have been lost in the latest violence, the State Police Command confirmed the destruction of 4 houses and 11 shops in the violence that erupted at dusk. The Kwara State Police Command has disclosed that the ban on motorcycles and tricycles across the state between 9 o'clock p.m. and 6 o'clock a.m. is still in force. The command, in a statement by its police public relations officer, Kasami Ajayi, said the reminder became imperative following the operators flouting the ban. He also clarified that, contrary to reports, the command never arrested any union leader or member on account of their political leanings. Wife of Oyo State Governor Tamunominini Makinde welcomed the babies of the year 2023 at Adiolu Specialist Hospital, Ring Road, Oluyoro Catholic Hospital, and Adioyi Maternity Teaching Hospital, Yemetu in Ibadan. Tamunominini, who was represented by Kafilat Olayiwola, presented gift items to the babies during her visit to the hospitals. The gift included babies' essential money and other gifts. She urged women to come out and vote in their numbers and advised those that are yet to collect their voters' card to do so to enable them vote.
Ìyàwó gómìnà wa, Engineer Mrs. Tamunominini Olúfúnkẹ́ Mákindé rán wa sí gbogbo àwọn abiyamọ lẹ́ni tí wọ́n ní ká lọ máa fún wọn ní ẹ̀bùn ọdún àti owó tó jọjú láwọn ẹ̀bùn lóríṣiríṣi pé ká dẹ́jíṣẹ́ fún wọn pé kí wọ́n tọ́jú ọmọ wọn dáadáa. Ọlọ́run á bá wa wò.
While speaking, the mother of the first New Year baby, Itumnu, thanked the wife of the governor for the kind gesture. She urged mothers to dedicate enough time for their babies.
I give glory to God. I'm very happy. I just want to implore our mothers that if you have time to our baby and provide for their needs, I pray that God in His sovereign mercy will continue to bless her in the mighty name of Jesus.
The Permanent Secretary, State House, Tijani Umar in Abuja, led a team of presidential aides on a pre-handover inspection of the presidential wing of the State House Medical Center. The Permanent Secretary was accompanied by the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Domestic Affairs, Sarki Abba, and Chief Personal Physician to the President, Dr. Sanusi Rafindadi. Speaking after the inspection, Umar said a lot of progress has been made with the unpacking and installation of equipment ongoing.
This is also going to give us an excellent opportunity to make observations to the contractors. Whatever we have seen, we would review and would get back to them. We are doing this so we can have an opportunity to assess what is on the ground and to get ready for the official commissioning when Mr. President approves.
On his impression of the project, the chief physician to the president, Sanusi Rafindadi, described it as a world-class and state-of-the-art with the capability to carry out several medical procedures.
World-class, state-of-the-art with a lot of equipment and capability to carry out any procedure you can imagine. The previous one has been a little bit remote from the seat of power. This one is situated within the seat of power, within the villa.
Speaking, Sarki Abbad thanked the president for approving the project while also commending Julius Berger, the contractors, for delivering on schedule. Less than a year after the foundation laying ceremony was performed by Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari.
First, for the opportunity to approve this project, and also I want to commend the PAMSEC, the CPP to Mr. President, and the APAGU and the rest of the team for tirelessly trying to make sure that this project takes off. I want to congratulate and appreciate Julius Berger for the timely work on this. I know they work almost.
Now we'll go on a break, and when we return, the News Plus continues. It's good to know that you're still with us on NEWSPLUS. Now, moving forward, the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on Assessment and Status of all recovered loot movable and immovable assets from 2002 to 2022 by agencies of the federal government of Nigeria for effective, efficient management and utilization has urged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to prevent looters from recovering their loot in the ongoing auction of seized and forfeited assets. The committee's chairman, Adejoru Adiogun, while noting that his panel had earlier recommended speedy disposal of recovered loot, especially fixed assets, expressed the possibility of looters recovering the forfeited assets by proxy. Adiogun, however, stated that the committee will continue with its investigation despite the sales. The EFCC on December 6, 2022 commenced inspection and auction of 649 forfeited vehicles located across 9 states and federal capital territory through appointed auctioneers. The House of Representatives on Wednesday passed the 2023 budget of 21.82 trillion naira as against 20.5 trillion naira proposed submitted by President Muhammadu Buhari. The budget was increased by additional 1.31 trillion naira. The House also Wednesday extended the implementation of the 2022 capital budget till March 31st, 2023.
57,597,797 naira only is for debt service. 8,301,195,637 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 5,1,000,000,000 972,734,929,421 naira only is for contribution to development fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2023. I now invite Honorable Mutar to give the students the report.
The Joint Committee sat and acted on the bill as mandated by the House. The committee observed the following: the effects of the 2022 flood across the country and its attendant consequences on the roads, bridges, farmlands, and water sector necessitated the supplementary appropriation bill. MDS involved in the supplementary appropriation bill's requests are Foreign Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Foreign Minister of Works and Housing, Foreign Minister of Water Resources.
A member of the House representing Sagbama Ikeremo Federal Constituency, Frederick Egbedi, has commended the Senate Committee on Ethics and Petitions, and particularly the President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, on the Senate's resolution to implement the Atala Marginal Field Report. Honorable Agbeni, who described the Red Chamber's decision as just, selfless, and patriotic, also equitable, commended President Muhammadu Buhari and Bayelsa State Governor Diridu for their unrelenting efforts and standing in defense on the restoration of the field to Bayelsa State. According to him, the Atala marginal field was among 10 marginal fields the president directed most be returned to their owners, but justice was not served for that of Bayelsa State.
With regards to the occurrence of this issue, it only came to the fore, like several other issues, several years later. Even though the matter occurred in 2015, it was only brought to the fore by a whistleblower towards the end of 2020. And remember, that was the COVID period. And in the time between when that allegation came up and now, there has also been the issue of trying to identify the whistleblowers, trying to determine whether or not there was even a reason to commence this investigation. Like I told you earlier, these are individuals who have been expressing fear. So of course, they were a little skeptical about providing information.
The student loan bill recently passed by the National Assembly recommended 2 years imprisonment or 500,000 naira or both for students who default in repayment or anyone found aiding defaulters. As part of efforts gearing towards addressing funding challenges in the country's tertiary institutions of learning, the National Assembly recently passed the Student Loan Bill, which has faced much criticism, into law. Newsman reports the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, cautioned against the condemnation of the Student Loan Bank being proposed through the Student Loan Bill. And now away from Nigeria, at least 9 people were killed and several others wounded in simultaneous car bomb attacks in a town in central Somalia on Wednesday. Security officials and witnesses said the attack, blamed on Al-Shabaab jihadist fighters, took place in Hiran region of central Somalia, where a major offensive was launched last year against the Al-Qaeda-linked group. Witnesses said the blast occurred near the restaurant not far from the district administration building in Mahas. Now, China on Tuesday condemned fresh COVID test requirements by around a dozen countries on passengers traveling abroad from its territory, warning it could take countermeasures in response. The United States, Canada, France, and Japan are among a number of countries that now require travelers from China to show a negative COVID test before arrival, as the country faces a surge in cases. China is seeing a steep rise in infections after years of harsh zero-COVID restrictions were abruptly loosened last month with little warning of perpetration, and hospitals and crematoriums have been quickly overwhelmed.
措施缺乏科学依据，一些过度做法更让人不能接受。我们对试图操弄疫情防控措施以达到政治目的的做法表示坚决反对。 将针对不同情况，本着对等原则采取相应措施。
Pope Francis pays his respect to former Pope Benedict XVI, who died on Saturday at the age of 95. This week's audience was conducted as tens of thousands of people continue to flock at St. Peter's Basilica to pay their respect before Benedict's body lying in state. The first 2 days of viewing drew a total of 135,000 people. Wednesday's viewing began before dawn and was set to end in the early evening. Francis is due to preside over the late German Pope funeral on Thursday, an event that is drawing heads of state and royalty, despite Benedict's request for simplicity and Vatican effort to keep the first Vatican funeral for an emeritus pope in modern times low-key.
A quanti qui accanto stanno rendendo omaggio a Benedetto XVI e rivolgere il mio pensiero a lui, che è stato un grande maestro di catechesi.
Russia's defense ministry said on Wednesday that 89 servicemen were killed in the Ukrainian attacks on Mykolaiv in the Moscow-controlled parts of the Donetsk region, adding the main reason for the attack was unauthorized use of mobile phones by the troops. The strike just after midnight on New Year's Day on a school that was converted into military quarters in Mykolaiv has spurred anger among Russian nationalists and some lawmakers questioning the military strategy used there. Russia previously said 63 Russian soldiers were killed. The defense minister said 4 rockets from the US-made HIMARS launchers hit the building, adding that from the detonation of the warheads of the HIMARS rockets, the ceilings of the building collapsed.
Использование, вопреки запрету, личным составом мобильных телефонов в зоне досягаемости средств поражения противника. В настоящее время принимаются необходимые меры по исключению подобных трагических происшествий в будущем.
And with that story, we come to the end of NEWSPLUS for now. Well, my name is Philip Slippen. Please do have a great day. Thank you.